I push that button and push
I
that
know.
button.
I
I
noticed
push
that.
this button and I push this button and we are live. Hey everybody.
Hey, everybody. How y'all
It's a
doing today?
it's a
Sorry we're
red
running a
letter
little bit behind.
day.
I'm telling you. Hey, we're wearing red, but the market's green, so that's good.
Market's
Everything's looking
green.
good, man. It's looking up. Maybe this is the start of a bull.
Well, you
I'd
know,
take a mini
Joe,
bull run at this point.
Joe,
You know?
yesterday when we were talking and I was looking at the activity and I opened up Coin Market Cap yesterday when you and I were on live, if you remember, and I said, I'm
Yeah.
not a financial advisor, but judging by what the volume has done, judging by the price bounce, it looks like we might be headed
Yeah.
on the way up. So, I'm not going to say I
Yeah.
called it, but I'm going to say that I'm feeling better about my thought process for sure, right?
Well, yeah. And the thing is, the other day I was talking about if I get up around 45, 46, I was going to go ahead and sell off and then buy back in when it drops.
Yeah.
But, man, the only thing about that is I don't, I'm going to have to watch it real close because I'm afraid it may go up a little higher. And you know what? And maybe I'm just being an optimist, you know what I mean? But I'd rather be an optimist than be pessimistic about it. You know what I mean? Where they go, stay in, and it's kind of if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, the problem is everybody doing what I'm talking about doing, and it's not that big a deal for just me doing it. But when there's a million of me's, you know what I mean?
A
That's,
million
that's
of
kind of what,
yous?
in a way, got us to millions of me, a million of me's. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
not a
something like that. But you
million
know
of
what I mean?
yous.
Yeah. That'd be a lot. Yeah, that'd be a lot to handle, man. It'd be hard. But yeah, man, I'm having a good day though, buddy. You know, Chris just got some news, some dadpreneur stuff, and he may have to bounce out of here. You know what I mean? But
Thanks
I'm
for
here.
that,
I'm,
Joe.
I'm sitting. I
Appreciate
haven't
that.
got any phone calls from.
You
Yeah,
haven't
no
gotten a
problem. No
school
problem. I just thought
call.
I'd throw that out there. But yeah, I haven't got any today yet. It's Wednesday, right? Good
It
deal.
is Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday.
That's one thing. Is as much fun as as wild as Nixon is at home.
Hmm.
And she's not a bad kid by any respect. She just, well, I
I know
pick on
what
her
you
and she
mean.
picks on me. You know
I
what I mean?
know
So if
what you mean.
somebody else oversees it, they're like, that child acts terrible. I'm like, no, she doesn't. This is how we react. This is what, you know what I mean? It's like, ugh. Like, I did the face punch thing the other day. It's like, we'll start the new thing called face punch. And that's an inside joke between me and her. Because I'm like, oh, baby, you know what you need? She's like, what? What, Dad? Face punch.
Face punch.
And I give her the flying fist. Yeah.
No. You know, I think
Because I taught her a lot of martial arts or a fair amount, and now she kicks my ass.
careful
I
what you
can't hit her
do.
back.
Careful
I'm
what
like,
you
this isn't
do.
fair. I
Hmm.
know.
So I think most parents would concur that their kids are always better out and about at a friend's
Yeah.
house, at school, wherever they are. Even my son, with all of his specialties, and we'll just leave it at that. But even he knows that I expect him to be on his best behavior, right, when he's outside the house. And I guess it's hard for us as parents to apply that rule, if you will, to the home environment because we expect so much. This is how I feel. I can't speak for anybody else, but as a dadpreneur, I feel like I expect so much from him. When we're out, when we're about, when we're doing things, I expect his school,
Right.
to go well and stuff like that. That I give him a little bit more leadway at home. And my son is the kind of kid that if
Yeah.
you give him an inch, he's going to take 15 miles. So, you know,
They
it's like
all are. They're all like
but I
that's just
love
being
him.
a kid.
I
But
love him to death,
yeah.
you know. And
You're like,
so it's okay, I would much rather him act out and be crazy and drive me nuts at home than for him
mhm.
to act crazy, in public and somebody say something that's
Yeah.
going to get me arrested because if you say something bad about my kid, I'm liable to kill you.
Well, yeah. Well, I have a hard time at the grocery store. We had to go through this, and I had to go over it time and time again because they want to push the cart or they're goofing off or they're. And I'm like, look, hun, this is the deal. If you step in front of somebody's some dude's grocery cart and he hits you with that, I'm probably going to hit him. And my ass is in trouble for that. And it's your fault. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to care if you're hurt. You know what I mean? And it's going to turn into a situation. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like that. You know, I'm super protective. You know what I mean? It may not be, I know violence isn't the answer, but
it's the
but at the time being,
reaction.
it might be. But you know what I mean? It's going to be like, hey, watch where you're going. You know what I mean? Get your kid under control. Excuse me? You know, then that's how that escalates. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you need to stay right here. You know, and most of the rules are set in place to keep other things from happening. You know, like don't pick stuff up in the store because when you drop it and break it, I got to buy it. You know, you remember that don't touch it or you buy it rule, you know, and stuff like that, you know, and it's hard to get the rules across to them. Or like when you're in public, because, you know, at the house, you know, we give each other a hard time all the time. But I'm like, we can't do this in public. You know what I mean? This makes me look bad. This makes you look like a terrible kid. You know what I mean? Someone's going to say something and I'm going to be like, hey, shut your mouth. You know what I mean? It's like, you go raise your own kids.
Yeah.
You know, mine are doing fine. You know what I mean? You know, you're like, yeah.
Mine are angels compared to most. Okay. So I agree with you. Like, you know, we all have rules. None of us like rules. And my son right now just turning 9.
Right.
And, you know, he's learning about rules. And he's in the 3rd grade. And they have more rules. And, you know, it's why do I have to do this? And why do I have to do that? And why so much of this? And why so much of that? And, you know, I told him the other day, I said, son, let me explain something to you now at a very early age that no one ever explained to me at your age. Okay. And he said, okay, Dad, what's that? And I said, well, you know, if someone had told me this when I was your age, my life would be way different right now. And he's like, okay, what? I said, well, if you don't like the rules, if you don't like obeying all the rules that you're having to obey, then what you need to do is you need to apply yourself and you need to learn how to always be in charge by working for yourself. Because if you work for anybody else or in the public in any way, you have a trillion bosses, right? So he's like, really? Is that what I need to do? And I'm like, well, son, you know, take it from an old man. Take a old fool's advice. If you don't want to listen to a lot of rules, right, then you need to be in the position that you're making those rules. And he's like, oh, so I can make my own rules. I said, when you can afford to make your own rules, you can make them. Until now, you're following them.
That costs a little bit of money. You got to make that money first.
There you go.
Yeah. And,
I'm going to get coffee because I just jumped off a call to jump over here. So I'll be right back, buddy.
Right on. Hey, Terry. Hey, Bethany. How y'all doing? See. Yeah, and that's the thing with kids. It's funny because we go into, they're like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? And, you know, the thing is you want to just tell them, because I said so. You know, and that's a pretty good rule, too, you know, I think. But at the same time, there's reasons for it, you know. Like with Nixon's the main issue that I ever have with her is there's no off switch on her mouth. Like, she doesn't quit talking at all. Shut up, please.
No.
Please punch.
The on-off switch is not. The on-off switch is not born with them. You know, and no. I don't think we can have one installed either. I've taken Jerry to the doctor a couple times and said, "Hey, can you put an off switch on this?"
Yeah, they can't. You need to get an API for that or something, right?
Right. So I'm just going to warn everybody now that my son is coming in the driveway. So when he gets here, I'll probably step away for a minute and mute my mic so I can check out his eye and make sure he's okay and see what the plan of action is.
Yeah, make sure his eye's okay, buddy.
Yeah, I don't.
If you want to go ahead and hop off, Chris, hop off.
I don't foresee that we're going to have to go to a doctor. The car's coming in the driveway very slowly, so I think everything's cool. We probably just need some Visine or something, but you know, we'll make that determination in a minute.
Yeah, take care of that, man. But let's see. Yeah, the kids. It's like with Nixon, you know, her talks, and I mean, she comes by it naturally, man. Her mom talks more than I do.
No way.
And so it's kind of like, golly.
Impossible.
Yeah. No, she does. It's nuts.
Love you.
I mean, it is. And she's even louder than me. You know, she's like, ah! But then, all right. No, so I'll be trying to pull out in traffic, and where I live, the main road that goes through Eureka is actually a highway, you know, on the top part, before you go down into the town. And I live right off that highway. Well, not right off. I mean, I'm a mile down the road, but you know, so you've got cars doing, I mean, they're supposed to be doing 35, but they're not, you know, they do 45, 55, whatever, you know, and it comes around a turn and I'm always like, Nixon, you got to stop talking for a second so I can pull out in traffic, you know, because I don't want to get in a wreck and hurt you, you know, but, you know, that's just how it is. You know, it's like, why can't you just do both? I'm like, no, I don't. I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. You know, and I'm one of those people I've totaled probably, not counting the car that caught on fire. I guess that makes about 5 I've totaled, like 4 or 5. So I've been in a few wrecks and car situations. But, you know, that just comes with it. Talking about the market, it's crypto, huh? Let's talk about it. Everything's green, so it's looking good. Now,
I want that monkey out of there.
The interesting thing is right now, if you okay? Is he good?
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Yeah. All right, good deal. Good deal.
It looks like
allergies. But you know, if you're day trading right now, if you're putting new money in, there's a lot of money to be made right now. Right. Now, if you're working on what you already had in, you haven't caught up yet.
It depends on the price that you bought in.
Unless you're really paying a lot of attention to what you're doing and really working it. You know what I mean? But if you're moving your same 5 or 6 things
for a second, Joe, let me point out something real quick. So you're hearing a lot of chatter about people making money on this upswing. Okay. And we did drop down in the 3s. We're now back in the 4s. Thank God. Let me explain something to you. What Joe just said is exactly right. If you're putting new money in right now, you have the opportunity to make some fast, what the market calls fast money. Okay. Don't get excited about that.
You're making huge gains right now.
Okay. Because it's not very predictable. It doesn't happen very often. This is the 3rd time we've had a correction like this. So, you know, if you're feeling pressured, stop. Don't get pressured. But here's the other side to that. What Joe said was it depends on what price you came in at, as if you've even broken even. He's absolutely correct. So let's use the number 10,000, for example. Okay, if you came in, when you originally came in at $10,000 and you're still holding that $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, if you come in now and you buy a $4,100 Bitcoin, okay, for you to break even, you have to hit a lower number. Does that make sense? So in other words, you wouldn't have to hit that 10,000 anymore, because now what you're going to do is you're going to take the value of the 2 coins, right? You're going to add them together and divide by 2. All right. So the number that you would be looking for would be significantly less than the 10,000 number, right? That is how a lot of people in the market get ahead, because I'm not going to deny that a lot of people bought Bitcoin when it was, $19,000. I tried to tell them I'd wait because it's going to come down. They wouldn't listen. They had to have it now. So they paid $19,000 for a Bitcoin. So if that person or that set of folks were to buy a couple Bitcoin now, if they could afford to buy 2 Bitcoin now and add that to the one that they already have, can you see how that would significantly lower their break-even point to where they could get into ROI and profit a lot faster? I just wanted to point that out, Joe, because I know a lot of people are confused, because we say it depends on what they came in at.
And a lot of that, in a lot of it, we kind of have to take some responsibility on this, I think. And when I say we, I mean all of us that get on and do these shows, and we're trying to teach people about this stuff. And even with, if we're with education companies, we definitely need to take some onus on this is we tell everybody to go to CoinMarketCap and look at it. Well, you have a tendency to go to CoinMarketCap, and that's the only damn thing you know how to read. You know what I mean? And that's not it. You know what I mean? CoinMarketCap is just, that's not the market, what you want to really be reading. You know what I mean? You want to go into your actual markets and read your candles. You know, you learn how to, you know, in our lessons, it teach you how to read the candlesticks. You know what I mean? And you read them. Because like you're looking at, oh, Bitcoin's up 15%, 15.28%, which is at what, 43, 25, 49 right now.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Hey, that's great. You know what I mean? It's up 15%, but it's still down so far that it hasn't made up. Right. You know what I mean? And we had if you have an 80% loss and you have, okay.
I want to pause just for a second because this dovetails into what you were talking about. A buddy of mine, Michael, he bought $500 worth of Bitcoin last night. Okay, now when he bought that $500 worth of Bitcoin, he bought on Coinbase Pro, what used to be GDAX. Yeah. Sorry, I can't talk today. Can you tell I'm a little, dude? It's a natural high, I swear. Okay, so anyway, he bought 500 on Coinbase Pro, which used to be GDAX, right? And he immediately moved it over to his Binance account, and he made $160 because on Binance he put it in, and Binance was that much different from Coinbase, that much different. Okay, yeah. So what Joe's telling you,
and
what Joe is telling you about being able to read, you need to be able to read and understand and know where you're standing, not just with charts, okay, but also with exchanges, because you need to be savvy. If you're attempting, and I use the word attempting, if you're attempting to day trade, arbitrage, flip trade, any of that crazy stuff that people are talking about, okay, if you're attempting to do any of that and you don't know which exchanges that you have, okay, that is $100 difference from another. $100 doesn't seem like a whole lot, y'all. Let me tell you something. If you do that 12 times, you just made $1,200. Just saying.
Well, $100 is a lot of money. It's, you know,
just
this
saying.
Is where another thing where we get stuck on something. You have, let's see, where's the tools at? We're going to list everything. I'm going to pull up CoinMarketCap just because, you know, it's your quick reference. Right. And it's what we mainly use. You know what I mean? Now, when you really get into stuff, that's when you need to really get into watching your candles and seeing how far down you are and how far up you are. And what I was saying is if you've got an 80% loss and you jump 80%, you're still down. See, because now you've jumped 80% of that new number or 100% of that new number. Even if you go 100% up, okay, you're still jumping that 100%. So 100% of 4,000 isn't 100% of 5,000. See what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to bring numbers here.
Right.
The percentage changes as the number decreases. You know, that number lowers, and vice versa. As you know, percentage changes as the number increases. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Right.
20% of. Yeah, never mind. We understand percentages, don't we? So then, let's see. What I'm trying to get to is the difference in the prices here.
Right.
That I don't even know where it tells you. Is it rankings? Let's do rankings by price. No, it doesn't on my phone. I've never even looked at it on here though.
What you trying to find, Joe?
Anyways, you take Bitcoin, it's worth $4,000, okay? But the next thing closest to Bitcoin, I don't even think it's $1,000, or it might be $1,000. I don't even know what it is. It's something weird. You know what I mean? It's something you've never even heard of. It's called Market or something like that.
Right.
You know, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what it is. You know, I was just messing around on my phone last night. You know, I was in bed and I was kind of looking like before I went to bed, see what the prices were. And so I hit the, you know, rank it in order of, you know, your price. And I was like, huh, that's interesting.
So Joe, I just jumped on for you. I just jumped on my phone and pulled it up on the phone because the phone does have some different features. And so the next largest Bitcoin is called Maker, and it's $369.91 right now.
Yeah, Maker.
Okay, so you know
how much is it?
It's $369.91.
How much was it? Yeah, so you got a $4,000 difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So saying $100 isn't a lot, that's not true. $100 is a lot.
No, it's not.
I mean, because the majority of everything out there can be bought for $100.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can buy an entire coin of something for $100. One full, you know, and it's like, well, that's why, you know, I'm the big proponent of Bitcoin being its own thing over here and let the rest of the market do something. You know what I mean?
And just so everybody knows,
a store of value.
$100 will buy at least one coin of any of the coins on the market right now, except for the top 6 in price. I said top 6 in price. Okay, so after you get down to the 6, 7, 8, 9th one, you can actually buy more than one coin for $100. Okay, so you can buy multiple coins when you hit number 10. So, you know, that's why I'm saying, and I really want to stress this, because Joe is, you know, we laugh, we pick, we cut up, and I know you guys think that Joe is a comedian and that he's always joking and picking, but Joe's really, really smart, and a lot of people overlook the fact that he knows what he's talking about. But what I want to stress here is that, you know, when we talk about $100 difference, you know, I was dead serious when I said if you do that 12 times, it's $1,200. You know, $100 on a move, y'all. $100 is a big. That's good money. Now, the problem that we have, the problem we're faced with today, is that everybody's gotten so damn spoiled, pardon my language, with BTC and these you know, these jumps, and the jumps are as big going down as they are going up. And so you can't. I don't want people to get spoiled, and I don't want people to judge their trading on Bitcoin, is what I'm trying to say. Now, if you're trading Bitcoin, that's a different story. Okay, if you're trading the coin Bitcoin, then yes, you have to hold yourself to the standard of Bitcoin. But if you're trading these other coins, or even if you want to trade these other coins, look at this. Okay, so Mike bought $500, right, on Coinbase Pro. He threw it over on Binance. When he threw it over on Binance, he had $684 worth. So he gained $184 just moving his money. If he is an alternative coin guy, which I know that he happens to be, okay, he could take that $183 and go buy his favorite coin. You know, and he might buy 10, 12, 14, 20, I don't know how many coins, because I don't know what his favorite coin is. But, you know, what is XRP right now? Everybody's ranting and raving about XRP. What is it, in the 30, 40 cents? How many coins can you buy with $184?
39.
How many coins can you buy with $139?
Quite a few.
Come on, y'all. So you got to think past the bigger picture. I know everybody wants to. It's the classic syndrome of I'm here, but I want to be way the hell over there right now. You can't get there that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to take the steps. In order to take the steps, you got to take them. There's no way around it. Okay. Yes, I am not denying that there were some people that had made a $19,000 profit last year. I'm not denying that, okay? But it's not a normal occurrence, y'all, okay? It's not a normal occurrence. And people need to get that out of their head, because they are spoiled and they are looking for that next $19,000 profit. I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Well, okay? And that's
because I believe that it will.
You know, and a lot of people got spoiled on the
ice.
Right.
I believe that it will. You know, but it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and on the other side of it, like I was saying, there's, you know, a lot of people made a ton of money on ICOs. You know what I mean? But this is what happened. Yeah. This is what's happening now. ICOs are going the way of the dodo bird. You know what I mean? They're kind of, I don't know, man. They're like a polar bear. They're endangered species right now because, and this is all part of it. We wanted this cryptocurrencies. We wanted all these things to be accepted with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're going to want regulations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
And the regulations are really there to protect the layman, the everyday guy, so he doesn't get screwed around. You know what I mean? We have been trained and educated and taught to recognize scams and to recognize things like that. You know what I mean? I mean, we've talked to you about this stuff time and time again. But you know, with SEC regulations coming down, the ICOs are getting heated pretty bad, and I'm involved in ICOs, building them. You know what I mean? So I know this. You know what I mean? This isn't, oh, I think this. No, this is something I actually know. You know, this is stuff that I have to research, that I have to know for my own business side of things. You know what I mean? Separate from everything else. You know, what I do back over here in the background. Now, STOs, you know, security trading options, that's what's going to replace them. You know what I mean? Now, it's a lot more complicated, but they're trying to streamline that process to where it's, let's fill out a piece of paper. You know what I mean? Let's get a piece of paper we got to fill out, basically, little application, you send it in the SEC, and then you're okay. You know what I mean? And it takes away from the decentralization part, obviously, but that's just the way this cookie's crumbled. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to think the cookie wasn't going to crumble that way is odd. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. There's no way it's going to happen without somebody overseeing something. You know, some oversight. And instead of looking at things like regulation and their rules they're putting on us and they're taking freedoms from us, if you look at it like that, it's just going to make you mad. You know what I mean? And you're going to have a soapbox to stand on, and you can gripe about it, but it ain't going to do you any good. You know what I mean? You're not going to. We're not going to go back and change the wheel to being a square. You know, because it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's going to work the way it works and the way it's allowed to work. You know, so you might as well look at it like it's oversight. Okay, let's be involved in, you know, proper legislation for all these things. You know, let's be proactive instead of sitting around griping about it and going, oh, they're taking my freedoms. Go, hey, how about we do this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, how many people have ever even talked to anybody involved with the SEC in their state? I have. You know what I mean? You know when I called them? About 2 days after I found out about KGX. You know what I mean? And I was told, shut up, do not call them. I was like, why? I'm not doing nothing wrong. You know what I mean? And I found out there's no law in Arkansas. I mean, none whatsoever. I was talking to the head of the SEC here. You know what I mean? And he goes, we don't have anything on the book. He barely knew what a cryptocurrency was. I was like, want me to teach you about it? He's like, no, not really. I don't care.
Right.
You know? Like,
not interested.
Okay. Like, well,
Not interested.
I was like, so what can I do? You know what I mean? So basically, like here in my state, if I wanted to be an exchange, all I have to do is get the license that a check casher has. You know, like those like check cashing places? You know, that's the only licensing you have to have here. You know what I mean? Now, when you cross borders, that's where things are a little bit different. You know what I mean? But as far as just being here, boom, that's it.
Yep.
You know, and you need to know what you're doing and what you're talking about. And this is where we come into the whole education thing. And I wasn't trying to get on this education soapbox. I really wasn't. But you need to know what you're doing and, you know, pay attention to the changes, the things happening, you know, because this stuff changes.
Oh, Joe, where'd you go? Oh, Joe froze again. So, you know, what Joe is saying about being in the know and just following along with what's happening. You don't just need the education part about, like, for instance, with KGX, they have the information, and you could go there and you can get, you know, you can learn 90% of what you need to know in, you know, I don't even know, less than a week. Okay, and that's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. But then what happens is you have to stay caught up. So basically, you've got to watch those around you or the people that have been in a little bit longer. You got to talk to them. You got to have conversations. You got to know what's happening. You need to know whether to be nervous or not to be nervous. You got to take emotion out of it. Definitely take emotion out of the trading part completely. Because if you don't take the emotion out of the trading the emotion out of the trading part, then what's going to happen is you're going to wind up either losing a whole lot of money or putting it somewhere that you wished you hadn't put it, and it's going to sit there and sit there and sit there and sit there. Okay, so you take the emotion part out. You follow up with people that have been in longer than you. You have good conversations, and originally you get educated. I mean, that's really what it's about. So we're gonna we're going to go ahead and tie this thing up. Joe's frozen, and we're trying very hard to stay around the 30-minute timeline for you guys because we know your time is very valuable. And we're going to talk tomorrow about whatever it is that needs to be talked about. And who knows? It could be that the price of Bitcoin skyrocketed to $10,000 overnight. We don't know. Okay. What we do know right now is it's on a climb, and it's on a climb upward, and it seems like it's on a climb pretty quick. So let's see what happens. That's all we can do. Now, as far as your altcoins, we told you what to do with those. Okay, make good decisions. Find coins that you like. Get behind something. Every one of those coins is a cause. Okay, so you don't have to. If you're ladies, you don't have to take your bras off and burn them, right? But you can get behind something, push it, support it, and you don't even have to be vocal about it if you don't want to. So it's kind of cool that way. I think that probably our forefathers would have liked these altcoins and all the white papers that come along with them, because I know that generation was very passionate um, about causes and changing things and changing the world for the better. So it'd be kind of cool had they been around to see some of this. But, everything happens for a reason, and it is what it is. So everybody have a great afternoon. Don't freak out. Don't refresh your phone every 2 seconds to see what the price of Bitcoin is, although I know you will. And we will see you guys tomorrow. We love you guys. We thank you. And we'll look at you tomorrow at 2. Thank you so much.